What's up, everybody? It's your favorite Brachiosaurus, possibly favorite nerd, and today we are looking at Transformers Age of Extinction Slog, I think is his name. It's Sludge, right? I know I'm a little late with this guy. I just wasn't going to pay any kind of scalper price for him because, let's face it, he is what he is, and I never saw him at stores and retail around here, so that's why we're getting to him a little bit late. We'll take a look at accessories. He comes with these two things, these two jousting things, keeping with the night theme, and this articulates out and for the Dino mode, I believe, and then this is, you know, more so his melee weapon. And he holds them fair. They don't really go in all the way because of the way that the hands are molded, but, you know, not hateful. It still works. It's not like it doesn't work, you know. So you can do that, right? No paint at all whatsoever on them. They're just two pieces of plastic with a hinge, and that's it. Mine is fairly loose. We'll talk about it as we go. Nice paint on the head, on the eyes, and then a little bit there on the mouth. Head is on a ball joint that gets really a pretty good range of motion. And shoulders, oh, I guess we could talk about these two separately as accessories as well. Single mold pieces of plastic that peg in there, and if you want to, he can hold them as well, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Shoulders are on ratcheted hinges. They're soft ratchets, and then this piece of armor hinges to kind of get you articulation up to there, unless you spin it all the way around and go over top. Bicep swivel. You got a single hinge elbow, which isn't really effective. Hinge on the wrist, no swivel, which isn't really effective. Same on the other side. Waist is loose, swivel. Hips are on non-ratcheted universals that work pretty well, but mine are fair. They're not too loose, but they aren't tight for sure. Thigh swivel, knee hinge, ankle is on a hinge, so you don't get a rocker, which is also irritating. So articulation-wise, it's really kind of a letdown, but he is beefy. He is a big, beefy, chunky little boy. And he's probably my favorite of the set, which is like...
What is this charge on my credit card for an X-Transbot Apollyon?
That's the third-party Masterpiece Megatron.
Wasn't the X-Transbots the one that made Ollie?
Well, yeah, but it's the Masterpiece Megatron is going to go quick. I had to make a choice.
Well, I'm going to give you another choice. Which one of these do you want me to stab you with?
You can't be serious. Is that a spoon? We have pretty limited paint. We got some red there on gray plastic and some silver there on gray plastic. This is airbrush, so that ended up looking pretty nice just on gray plastic. And I think that's a solid red piece, or no? Nope, that's paint. That's red paint. And then we have some soft plastic back here that's painted. The red over here is painted, and they actually stay within the lines, and that's kind of impressive because, like, when they do little lines like this on like Marvel Legends figures, Hasbro has a hard time. Like, they had a hard time with that eye there, I think, or maybe they were trying. I guess they were trying to do the whole bit. But whatever. Not too kibbly, you know. I mean, not perfectly clean. He's got, but this little cape bit, it all kind of works aesthetically. So cheers to them, you know. I mean, like, I don't care about this toy, but you know, it's nice that they got it right, fairly, you know, in robot mode. I mean, I guess they got it right. I mean, they don't really have anything to go off of, so they had free reign, which is probably why they got it right, because they didn't really have anything to compare it to. They could just have their way with it. I digress. Let's get them transformed. So transformation is where this thing starts to fall apart, just because it's not fun, and it's a pain. So you open up all this, pull his whole torso up. His shoulders rotate out, and then that gives you the clearance to rotate the chest cavity in. This bit of business down here is its own nightmare. And the legs do like a, you know, you can use kind of your tail here as a guide for how the legs have to be. So you kind of get that in, you know, this general area, and then you can open this up, which is the calf. unlock the calf, which is the knee here, and then fold the foot in. Why is this hanging up? There. Rotate this up, and this becomes like the chest cavity, but that's got to be in a certain kind of way too. So there. And we'll clean it up later. Same thing on the other side. Open this up. Release the knee. You got to bring this whole assembly around, and then bring the knee back down, which forms the back of the foot. Yeah. I hate this thing. It's so many pieces of soft plastic. Oh, here's my problem. I'll just tuck that around, who cares? There we go. So just make sure you guys swivel the boot, and then it all folds up a lot nicer. I'm just an idiot. Alright, and then it's just kind of trying to put this thing so that it looks halfway decent. These interlock here. And that's all soft plastic, so you gotta kind of finagle to get it how you want it, but you gotta be careful because it'll come undone because it's a soft plastic. Soft plastic here too. And then you can get the arm situated. This soft plastic piece here, like, kind of just tucks behind the shoulders, which is stupid. And mine is already warping. And there you have him. Wow. Articulation wise, you get a neck swivel and a hinge as well, and a jaw that opens up really nicely actually. Shoulders are limited because you've got to constantly get this piece of soft plastic tucked behind. Then you got the same bicep swivel and then the knee there, which is nice actually. And then if you can, yeah. And then you got a little bit of trunk, like a diaphragm joint almost, because of the series of silly hinges, and then you have some. So you got to be careful though, because you'll undo this soft plastic. Like, it's just whatever. And then a knee here, and then that's pretty much it. And then of course you can arm him up. Then you can put these dumb things on here. I'm sorry, I shouldn't call them dumb. They always say nice things about me. There you go. There's the Rainbow Coalition. And there they are in robot mode. I'm going to take a look at Snarl, because these are all for my kid. Like, you can see Slag's even missing a head. It's funny because, like, I went up into her room to get them, and, like, her masterpieces are, like, sitting on a shelf, like, nicely. And then, like, stuff like this is just thrown about. It's like she can tell. I mean, like, I'm going to get on her for this because she's got to respect all of her things. You know, that's kind of a rule. But she can just tell what needs to be treated nicely and what doesn't. So it's really just more of the same. It's In dinosaur mode, it's utterly useless. Like, you can barely move it about without having pieces of it tab and fall apart due to the soft plastics in order to get the aesthetics that they're really looking for. And I can appreciate the bind that they're in, but the truth is like, come on. Everybody wants the Dinobots so that they can play with them in dinosaur mode, you know, especially when you're talking about children, which is your supposed target audience. This guy is not going to work well as a dinosaur playing about on the kids' floor, you know, in dinosaur mode, because it's just not meant to do anything but stand perfectly still. And it's unfortunate. And in these soft plastics, like, I appreciate the fact that they're trying to give it the look and still stay within their safety range, but it just doesn't make the toy good. So I don't know what's more important. It's like they sacrifice the look, or they sacrifice the quality, or they do both. The plus side is that there is some well-placed paint apps. The robot mode does actually have a good bit of playability. He's fairly articulated and beefy and blocky and fun to kind of mess with, and he looks imposing, he looks kind of cool. It's definitely one of those situations where the bot mode paid off well. The problem with this whole AOE Dinobot line is it can't get out of its own way. With all these spikes and bits and panels and all this mess and tails and more spikes, and then put some more spikes on your spikes so you can spike while you spike, it has a hard time getting out of its own way. Most of them have a hard time getting out of their own way. In dinosaur mode, there are the exceptions. One of those exceptions would be their slag, which I think is why he's my favorite of the set, because the dinosaur mode kind of has the most playability. That's kind of what I look for, I think, because the transformation and the robot mode and all that stuff is a mess. But this guy, the slug, he falls victim to that same bit, but it's definitely in dinosaur mode. And the transformation is just awkward and not intuitive and a mess and silly. And I'm not just saying that because it ate me alive, but I'm saying that because it is messy, it's sloppy, it's awkward, it's clumsy. And that's kind of the problem. But for $22, if you're collecting the AOE line and you haven't already picked this guy up, you know, he's worth it. You know what you're getting, right? You're not expecting the world, are you? Come on, Chico. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.